Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, okay, so we continue to the third part of our chapter 1, which is about software development methods. Okay, basically, in the previous video, I have mentioned about some steps in SDLC, which is related to the 6 phases: problem, analysis, design, implement, test and verify, and also maintain and update. So in the following slide, we will I will explain about uh, each of the phase deeply, and also what are the key tasks to be done in each of the phase. Alright, so here firstly, if you realize that the first step in software development method is problem, which is the problem statement. So in problem statement, so you need to state clearly what is the problem that you want to solve by using your proposed system or proposed any proposed system related to the problem, and then to gain a clear understanding of what are required for its solution. Let's say you want the problem that existing in a department, for example, lack of salary application, such as maybe they have no application to compute the salary of the staff. So that's why you need to clearly state the problem. So for the difficulties, maybe you can propose a smart salary management system in order to cater all the problem. So you need to gain a clear understanding of what are required for its solution. Okay, so for example, another example, let's say you aware that in your department they have some problem related to attendance of the staff. Okay, so before this, let's say your staff need to be handled manually. Okay, let's say early in the morning, the staff need to write their name manually, sign at the paper, and state what is the time that they entered into the office. So by using the proper system, basically they can use only thumbprint or their staff card in order to capture the attendance. That's why the system is very important in order to solve all the problem. So gain a clear understanding of what required for its solution. Okay, let's say there is a problem. Okay, consider this scenario. Okay, you want to know the number of person walk into the room. Okay, in this problem, okay, let's say you want to count how many person enter into a room. So number one, you see John walk into the room, and then after that you say John enter into the room, and then your partner hears that you say, okay, John just only enter the room. And the number 4, your partner make a calculation, meaning that or add 1 to the total. Let's say before this, okay, there are a number of people enter into the room, so your partner just add 1 to the total. And lastly, the calculator will screen out or will show the number of total people that enter into the room. So repeat from step 1 until all the people enter to the required room. So this is the problem. Okay, actually what happened inside the computer before this, this is just the manual step, which is we as the human count it one by one and count it using the calculator. So actually what happened inside the computer itself, so let's say before this we know each of the computer system need to have the input, okay, and then at the center you have the processor and have the output devices. So person number one enter, which is John. Okay, you saw the John entered into a room. Okay, and then your friend, which is computer 2, okay, they they hear that you said John just enter the room. Okay, and then the computer 2 show the output +1, and computer 3 show the output 1. Alright, so there are 3 computers that are linked each other. Okay, so let's say number 2 person entered into a room. So you as the computer 1, okay, Sue and your friend, okay, or your partner heard that you say, okay, Sue and just entered the room, so plus another 1, so computer 3 will compute 1 plus 1 equal 2, and so on. So the process will be repeated until all the person entered into the room. Okay, so that's why the most important thing in problem solving is analysis. So analyze the problem using IPO, which is input the data here, the person, name of person. Okay, you saw the number of person enter, that is input. Okay, and then the process, okay, something that have the requirement or constraint or the calculation, and the third one is O, okay, which is output to show the desired result, right? And then we go to this is the second phase after problem. Okay, you saw the problem. The problem is you want to calculate the number of person enter into a room. Okay, and then secondly you need to analyze lah. They have the input, how to process, and what is the output. And we go to the third phase, which is design phase. So design is the phase where we need to design the algorithm. Algorithm is something that is programming like, okay, but algorithm is not a syntax or programming. They just the type of writing that similar to the programming code, but not exactly the programming code. Okay, so we call it as the algorithm, the sketching of the code. So you need to develop the algorithm. Okay, that algorithm will visualize the list of steps in order to solve the problem. Okay, and at the end of the algorithm, the main is to verify the problem that need to be solved. Okay, so you need to know algorithm is the list of steps to solve the problem. Okay, like it is just not too similar to programming code, but it consists of the step by step, okay, of the activity that are responsible to solve the problem. Okay, and then after you design the algorithm, okay, and then you need to implement the algorithm. Okay, writing into the program and implement the algorithm. Then lastly you need to convert to the programming statement. So you know you have the problem, you analyze the problem, okay, and then you design the algorithm. Okay, algorithm is the step by step on how to solve the problem. And fourthly is to implement. You convert the algorithm into the programming statement. Let's say you have the algorithm and you choose the C++ or C program to do the programming. Okay, so that's why before you develop any of the computer system or any application, you need to write your own algorithm, and then after that you need to convert it into the chosen programming language. It depends on you, but sometime maybe before this the person using C code, and then you want to change from the C to Java, so you need to refer back to the algorithm and do the do the system using the new programming language. Alright, so in the implement there are 4 steps, okay, which is firstly you need to implement the algorithm, and then you need to convert all the algorithm into the programming code. So the first implementation is do the coding. Write the program code with specific programming language that you have been choose in specific programming tools or software. So if you choose C language, you need to use any compiler such as BIC++, anything, okay. Or if you choose the Java programming language, you need to run the code using the required software such as NetBeans, Eclipse, and so on. Same goes to, let's say you choose the PHP as the programming language, so you need to install MySQL and also the server to run the PHP code. Okay, so the coding need to be run by the specific tools or software. Right. And then secondly is documentation. Write explanation or description for each line of code or comment for future. Okay, actually this is very important in order for your program to be understandable by another programmer. Alright, so this is what we call as the comment. Okay, actually not necessary to each line, maybe each of the function you need to put the comment. Let's say this function is used to calculate the salary, for example, and then next, okay, this program is used to display the salary to the staff. Okay, so each of the block of the statement or line of code you need to put the comment. Okay, comment can be done in any language, it depends on you. So basically we can write in English or bahasa Melayu or anything, so it depends on the programmer. And third is compile, using the tool or software function to check error in program code. It relates back to the step number 1, using the specific programming tools. Let's say you are using dev C in order to run the C code, so you need to go to the compile and check the error. Okay, compile and run, check an error. So there are several steps or several types of of error, which is sometimes error made by the programmer, such as typo error or syntax error or anything. So that type of error need to be discussed on the next chapter. So using that tools to check either your program code contains error or not. So after that, run using the same tool or software to display output of the program. If the error is clear, there are no error occur in your programming code and so on, so it supposedly give a desired result by the compiler. Okay, so this is the step of implementation. Do the coding, okay, which is convert algorithm into the programming code and run the programming code into the specific programming tools. And supposedly you need to put the comment on the important line in your programming code. Okay, and also you need to compile and run in order to display the result. Okay, so in SDLC, test and verify is also very important in order to know that your application runs smoothly or not. So test and verify the program. Okay, so make sure that you need to test completely the program and verify either your system work as desired according to the function and according to the requirement from the user. Okay, let's say you develop an application for salary management system. So you need to enter a number of input into your software or your system in order to test either any error occur during the input of the result, and then test back. Okay, either the output is work as desired. Basically, testing is the most important part in the software development. And then after you verify everything complete and everything error from any error, so it can be released to the customer or your staff. And lastly, this is the last steps is the maintain and update. Okay, maintain is the step of modifying in order to do the updating, keep your program update, and also detect any error that is not being detected during the previous step, test and verify. So if error happen in this step, so you need to modify it back. Okay, and then keep updated. Okay, use and modify the program to meet changing requirement or correct error that show up in using it. So basically, during the previous step, which is test and verify, normally but not usually, but maybe there are some of the testing that is not being performed during this step. Maybe you miss some one or two testing. So during the maintenance and update, when user say, okay, this part contain some error, so you need to modify at the certain module. Okay, and then you need to be updating according to the requirement of the customer. It depends, either your customer is your staff, maybe a student. So if they give the report that your system have certain type of error, so you are the person that are responsible as the software developer or programmer to maintain and update the system. Okay, alright, so that's all for chapter 1. Okay, for the quiz, you can refer to this recorded lecture, or you can just refer to the slide that have been uploaded in under learning materials in Otter. Okay, so that's all for today. See you next week. Okay, goodbye. Bye. Assalamualaikum.